Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are watching this around the world. Some people's noisy little motorbikes going by, trying to make a small motorbike sound like a big motorbike. Hi, good morning. We're 4 in the house already, so good morning, good afternoon, and welcome everybody. So again, we're a little bit early. For those people who just joined in, just let me know if everything's working okay, whether the voice is okay and the pictures are okay. There's lots of trucks and somebody's getting a load of soil delivered, so you might see a few trucks going by left, right and centre. All good, marvellous. Thank you very much, Tony. So a lot to discuss today and a lot to talk about, various subjects. But if anybody's got any questions, put a capital Q at the beginning of the comment that you put on the side. Then I can see that it's a question and I'll be able to answer it. It's easy enough to do. So I've been here for 13 years. So ask any questions you want, and I'm sure I'll be able to come up with an answer. And if I can't give you any answers, I can steer you towards the people who know. So what we're going to talk about today. You are so helpful. Thanks very much. I tried to be. Again, I can answer most questions and most problems that people have. As you can imagine, I've been doing this for a few years now. So I've talked to many people, and we're going to talk about some of the problems that people have living over here. All good, Les, from sunny Manchester, working. Oh, you must be on your coffee break then, are you? Oh, look, and for those people, they'll notice I've got a chip front crown. So that happened yesterday, and I can't get the dentist until Wednesday. And then the guy that comes along and does the dental crown works won't come until Saturday. So you know what it's like when you've got a hole and your tongue's forever trying to go into that hole. And it was a stupid accident how it happened. I had a yogurt pot, and the little silver foil that pulls off to take the top off, it had gone. So there was a little, so I just put it in my tooth and I'll try to nip the end of it. And then I heard a crunch, and that's it. The back of the tooth fell off. So that's going to cost me at least 12,000 baht to go and get a new crown put on. So that was an expensive yogurt that I had yesterday. When are we going away again? We're going away again next month, on the 9th of next month, for 2 days, just up the road to Lime Pim. We've rented a 4-bedroom, 5-bathroom house with its own swimming pool and like a 7-minute walk to the beach. Not that we'll be going on the beach, because the house is beautiful. Loads of seating area, outdoor, nice, beautiful garden, and a swimming pool. So we'll be making use of that. And again, I'll do a video and a vlog under that. And it's a beautiful place. So again, just down the road, literally only 15-20 minutes, but you don't have to go far. There's a group of 8 of us going, so we're all drinking, eating, and having a good time together. You still look handsome. Thanks very much. I'll send you the $5 later. It's only when I smile like that. It's crazy. Never mind. So let's have a look. Enjoy the time. We always enjoy our time away. We went to Pattaya yesterday to go and see a friend of mine. A friend of mine, sadly, and is in hospital. And we'll start off the conversation with hospitals and costs and things like that, because people's always interested in how much it costs for doing it. Again, the dental treatment for a new crown there, it's going to be 12,000 baht. So about £260. I don't know how much it would cost in the UK, but again, I just ring up the dentist. I can't get to the dentist until Wednesday because it's a public holiday tomorrow, Monday, and it's the Queen's birthday on Tuesday, so the dentist isn't open until Wednesday. Again, my friend who sadly is in hospital, quite serious, his illness. So we drove down to Pattaya, which is about an hour and a half away from here, to go and see him. He's been in hospital now for 10 days. So 10 days in the top hospital, the Bangkok hospital in Pattaya. Up to now, I was talking to his wife yesterday, and it's clocking up towards 500,000 baht already. And for a night in the Bangkok hospital in Pattaya works out at about 10,000 baht a night, plus your doctor's visits and stuff like that, and any medication, treatments, stuff like that. Sadly, he's got septicemia, and he's got fluid on the lungs. So he's quite in a bad way, really. But he's in the best place possible, and the treatment is second to none. But he spent 2 nights in the ICU. The ICU works out at 60,000 baht per night. So as you can see, having medical cover over here in Thailand is sort of essential. But again, if you went to the public hospital, it'd be much, much cheaper than that. But whether you'd get the same amount of care and attention, I maybe think not. But if you haven't got the money, then you haven't got the money. Thankfully, he's got plenty of insurance, so it's the insurance that's paying for it when all's said and done. But 60,000 baht a night in the ICU and 10,000 baht a night in the room. The room is beautiful. It's bigger than most hotel rooms that I've stayed in. It's like an ensuite bathroom, chaise lounge, so his wife can sleep there as well. So yeah, it's very, very posh and very, very upmarket for a private hospital, but then you're paying for it, so the treatment's good as well. So anyway, there's my retired and living the dream mug. Got me coffee, and away we go. So again, if anybody's got any questions, please feel free to fire away. Best wishes, Les, from me here just up the coast, Bang Saray. Good afternoon in Bang Saray. It's beginning to cloud over a little bit here now, but it's been quite nice. Again, blue skies this morning. I was up at 6:30 this morning, and it was lovely. Bill Simpson, always a pleasure, Bill. Thanks very much for joining. No need to be apologetic for you late. Just write out 100 lines. I must not be late next time. Gaz Young, question. What's Pattaya like, Les? Busy wise, probably be driving down Wednesday or Thursday for a few days for my lad's birthday. It was okay, really. Traffic was busy on the Sukhumvit Road. Again, we only went to the hospital, really. We went, it's probably the one and only time that we've actually been to Pattaya and come back the same day. It took us an hour and a half to drive from here down into Pattaya, and then an hour and a half to drive back. We went and seen him. We were in the hospital for an hour. He's very, very weak. At one point, everybody thought he was going to die, but he's managed to pull through, but he's still very, very weak. And fingers crossed that everything goes well for him. It's not very nice, anybody spending any time in hospital, especially when you're really, really sick. So yeah, Pattaya, talking to various people, it's quiet on the nighttime, the lifestyle and stuff like that. But Pattaya is always busy. The traffic's always on the roads. Yeah, so again, okay, let's fire away at some of the things. Thank you very much for all of those people who watched my videos with regard to the state pension. Wow, about 34,000 views on that one. That's incredible. And thank you very much for all the comments and suggestions, who I should contact, why I should contact them. There are some people who watch the video and maybe it's not understood what it was about. You know, some of the comments like, of course, you're not going to get the increase in Thailand. Living in the Philippines, you're going to get it. Well, we already knew that. And as I say, that was on the video. And it's only because I discovered the loophole, as if you go to live in a reciprocal country for 6 months, you can actually claim the increases that you've missed for the past few years. And as two of the rises, one was 10.1 and one was 8.7. That's quite a substantial rise for those people who haven't had a rise over the past, say 4, 5, 6 years. It makes a big difference when all's said and done. And again, a friend of mine, he actually pulled the trigger and he went to live in the Philippines, constantly told he was going to get the rise. And sadly, when he returned back to Thailand, they put his money back to where it was before he went to the Philippines. And as we are now at 7 months, and I got an email off him 2 or 3 days ago saying that they still haven't replied, even though they said they'll get back in touch with him within 48 hours. That was 2 months ago. And it sort of re-inspired him with the comments and stuff like that on the video. So he's wrote a big long message to various people, the contacts, and I've shared all the contact details that people have kindly sent to me and sent it along to him as well. So he's wrote, copied and pasted the same email to about 3 or 4 different people. Again, I've got some more information to pass on to you, and I'll have a cup of coffee. I'll have a swig of my coffee, and we'll get cracking with that. Up to yet, it's been about a week and a half since I wrote all the emails, and as of yet, still nothing in black and white, but a lot of I'm sorry but emails, if you like. And some of these people that I wrote to was for the solicitors that do work on pro bonos. I didn't expect any of them to take the case up, and again, there's 3 solicitors that I wrote to asking for a pro bono. Pro bono is where a solicitor actually works for free. And there was an organization that somebody sent a link to where there were retired solicitors, and, just to keep the hands in, if you like, they would do a bit of pro bono work. Sadly, they've declined to take this on. Money Matters, where they're a big organization that look at pensions and stuff like that, and I've just received an email off them on Friday evening saying after extensive inquiries they haven't come up with a solution to the question that I put, if you like. So sadly they can't take it on any further. So I've also wrote to Liz Kendall, who is the minister involved. She's the head person of the Department of Work and Pensions, and I've actually wrote a letter or email to her again a week and a half and still not had any reply. But to the money experts, they've sent me a couple of more links to send actionable emails to one, freedom of information. So she said, be careful how you word everything and write everything down, and hopefully you should get a written answer for the freedom of information. In other words, the question I'm going to ask, it's either a yes, you will get it, or no, you won't. But you know how they spin things, and the government type of thing, they're always spinning things. And then the second one is a complaints department to the Department of Work and Pensions because of the recorded conversation that I had, the fact that she was giving me wrong advice and then give me the correct advice because she contacted 2 colleagues. And I'm going to just say, listen, I still require this information in writing. So again, it's not dried up yet. I'm still fighting. And again, it's not even for me. I benefit nothing out of this. It's again because I'm being helpful to 1 or 2 of the subscribers, and hopefully I've grasped the nettle, and I'm going to carry on fighting with it until I get an appropriate answer, and hopefully then people can act on this, because then we've got it is in black and white. So then it's much more argumentative if it's in black and white. So the fight still goes on. So watch this space, and hopefully, very shortly we'll have some positive results and positive answers. How much is my coffee mug? If you're in Thailand, I can send you a coffee mug, and it's 300 baht plus 50 baht. So 350 baht for postal, retired and living the dream. I can't send them anywhere else in the world because I looked on sending them to various people. but the Thai post office won't post anything ceramic or glass. So they x-ray it to make sure what it is, and then if it's ceramic or glass, they won't post it. But Thailand, funny enough, they won't post it around the world, but they'll post it to Thailand. So yeah, 350 baht for anybody who's interested on a retired and living the dream mug. I've sold a few, and anybody that's interested in coming for a coffee, and if they come around for a coffee around my house, you get one of these mugs for free. Oh, there you go. So, hi Les, we're thinking of retiring to China. Yeah, China Mai, you mean Chiang Mai, from the UK, but flooding in Chiang Mai is putting us off. So after a rethink, we are now considering either Rayong or Hua Hin. Now, Rayong and Hua Hin are totally different. I would say Hua Hin is very upmarket. There's lots to do at Hua Hin, but it is a little bit more expensive. I would say, personally, live in Rayong for 6 months and live in Hua Hin for 6 months. I like Hua Hin. We've been there a number of times, but I don't like the busyness of the traffic. And if you want to go to the nighttime market, like the walking street area, it's just difficult to park your car during the evening time or peak busy times. And there is lots of traffic there. And it's the traffic that put me off. So I still like Rayong, where we live. I mean, this view is here to die for. I'm up here every morning, like 7:30, drinking my coffee. But give it a look. Have a look in Rayong. You know, to get a feel of the place, you've got to live here for at least 3, 4, 5 months or something like that. But I would say Hua Hin has got more to offer than Rayong. It depends what you want, really, doesn't it? I mean, we've got beautiful beaches here. To park near the beach in Hua Hin, it's difficult because it's all built up around the beach area. So it's not as easy to park along the beach and walk. We've got 3 beaches here that are about maybe 10 or 11 kilometers long. You have no problems whatsoever parking. And it's easy to get to the beach, where Hua Hin, I find it a little bit more restrictive to try and get there. Tony Montana, how do I pay you? It just I've got them for sale on my Buy Me a Coffee link. If I put you under this, I've got ebooks, and if you just nip into that link there, it'll take you to the shop, and I've got ebooks with regard to moving here to Thailand, the Keto Diet and things like that. And there is a thing on there for a mug. So I think it works out at $7, which is about 350 baht, something like that. So is there a link there? I think there's a link there for the coffee, but if not, just send me the equivalent of 350 baht in coffees, and I'll gladly post it to you in Thailand, no problem whatsoever. So I'll go back under there. Slim Dog Tri Banks are here for a look. Lovely here, Scotty. Let's have you been to Charm? Yes, I've been to Charm. It's a much different area to. I think it's a little bit run down. My personal feelings, it's a little bit run down, and it's sort of the poor neighbour of Hua Hin. Hua Hin seems cosmopolitan and upmarket, and it's nice. You get some nice people there. Chatham, it's much cheaper, a little bit run down in my opinion, but it's a cheaper place to live. In fact, I'm going to come on to a little bit later on about the costs of living here in Thailand, and my guide to how much it will cost you to live here on a budget. And again, I'm open and honest, and I mean, I live on £1,400 a month here, which is about 60,000 baht. And I'm buying this house. We have a nice car. We go on various holidays. We're eating out and eating home. And we do all of this lot on about 60,000 baht a month, which is like £1,400 a month. But I'm going to come on to that a little bit later on. It's easy enough to do here. It's for me, there's a lot of people saying people are leaving Thailand, but I don't think that's the case. I think that's just bad news sells papers, doesn't it? And bad news gets the clicks on the videos. I don't think people are leaving here, and I'm going to go through all the reasons why I don't think people are leaving here. It's just one of them things. Somebody's got a lot of views on their comments about leaving Thailand, and everybody's jumped on the bandwagon, and everybody reads that. Why do you think we're leaving Thailand? So I'm still happy with it. I still sing its praises. I still think it's a worthwhile location coming to. And we've even got a little bit of good news with regard to the tax system over here. Things are changing, and hopefully the bean counters have realised their mistakes with regard to the tax, and they're changing it. But it's like everything else, until it comes out in the Royal Gazette, people are speculating and talking about it. But to be fair, the sounds encouraging with regard to the tax and the fact that any foreign income coming into Thailand won't be taxed. Fingers crossed. Good morning, Les. Was the email I sent you on pension lawyers any use? No, because I sent an email to them, and they said on this occasion they won't be acting on my request. And again, I got emails on the pro bono retired lawyers, and they also said on this occasion they won't be. So there's 3 different lawyers, or 3 different groups of, pension lawyers and things like that, said that they weren't going to act on it. So I'm still waiting for various other outcomes. Liz Kendall, the head of the Department of Work and Pensions, I'm waiting for an email from her. And again, the Money Matters, they said right to the freedom of information for the Department of Work and Pensions, and you should get an answer from that. So the irons are still in the fire. But thanks very much. And as I say, thanks very much for at least giving some other avenues that we could. I've sent emails to every single like lawyers or any advisory groups that people have recommended to me. It's like everything else, fire a lot of ammo and hopefully something will hit the spot. Question: I can't find your buy me a coffee for the link you have on your screen at the moment. All right. Okay. Well, coffee.com retired. Well, usually, anyway, there should be a link in the description below, but if there isn't a link in the description below, I'll put one later on. So, but there's a link on every one of my video on the information, which is underneath the video. There's the link to buy me a coffee and stuff like that. So it should work. Usually when people click onto it, you get directed to it. So you won't be able to click that to go to it. But if you copied it and put it in your taskbar at the top, you should be able to go to that one. Anyway, we'll get it sorted out sooner or later, but thanks very much for asking. I'm sorry it doesn't go straight to that link. Let me see where else, other ones we've got. No, we haven't got anything else on there. So we'll get that sorted, but thanks very much for trying. So getting back to the pensions, if people want to ring, if they're interested to see, if they would qualify for getting their pension increase, I would say give them a call, pester the living daylights out of them, because when all said and done, it's your money at the end of the day, and it's the international pensions that you've got to ring. Now, this isn't a free phone number. It will cost you to ring this, but there are still various internet connections that you can get very, very cheap international calls from, even though that Skype's gone missing now. Skype was brilliant for doing this. I use Skype for everything. But that's the international pensions number for anybody that's interested in the pensions. Again, 34,000 people viewed that video. So it is of, this is the horse's mouth. These are the people that should be able to give you the answers. All right. Here in the UK, we're paying £1. Is that £1 a minute? Andrew, banks are cheap to live. Yeah, Banter is a nice place. Just Google it. Tooth crowns can be in the range of £4 to £1,500. Yeah. Again, for people who've just joined, I've got a crown at the front, and I've just cracked it. A stupid thing, but things are always stupid, aren't they? When you have a little accident. So that's going to cost me 12,000 baht, which is about 260 quid. So otherwise, and your tongue just keeps going into the hole. So, so if I smile like that, I've got a chip crown now. So never mind. So yeah, dentist on Wednesday. Hopefully to get the plastic insert on Saturday, and then a week or 2 weeks after that, I'll get the proper crown. Now, I'm getting the cheap one in because that's 12,000. The next one up from that, the porcelain one, is about 15,000. But the two front ones I've had about 25 or 30 years. So for me, I'll go for the cheap one at 12,000. So hopefully I'm around in another 20 years if it cracks again. There we go. Let's have a look. Les, we are paying £1.34 a litre for unleaded petrol here in the UK. What's the price of the same? Well, I use E20, which is the synthetic petrol. And at the minute, we're paying just short of 31 baht, so it's about 80 pence a litre. And the 91, I think that's 35. Yeah, about 85 to 90. It's certainly less than £1 a gallon. I filled my car up with petrol the other day. It cost me 1,200 baht, about 26, 27 pounds to fill the car up from empty. So, but I can't think it. I remember putting £20 worth of petrol in me sister's daughter's car when we borrowed that. Well, last time I was over in England, and it just went above quarter of a tank for 20 quid. And 20 quid here is like 3/4 of a tank. So yeah, petrol is very, very cheap over here. I think Viber shows your UK number wherever you phone. Yeah, I forget. I've got it on a piece of paper, and I used a couple of different alternatives. I mentioned the last time on the live stream, but I can't remember offhand what it was. But if I need to call them, then I'll use them, Viber or some. There's 2 or 3 different. But if you Google it, cheap calls from abroad, you can either get a free version or you can get a monthly subscription for about $5, $3 or $4, something like that. Talking of other good things that I've done, I use a VPN now. A VPN. I've never ever used a VPN. And I use a VPN, Surfshark now. So if anybody's interested in the VPNs, the Surfshark, I've got a link in the bottom of here. Just click on that and you'll get an extra three months on top of your subscription. And it's $71 or $75 for 2 years and 3 months you'll get for the subscription. And that's brilliant because the 2 things that I've got in this country, YouTube and Netflix. Now Netflix, I'm watching the American movies now, which aren't on the Netflix that I've got in Thailand or the UK. So you can skip all the way around the world and look at different movies and things like that. And it's just like adding on to the catalogue of movies that you can watch or series or stuff like that. It really, really is good. So Surfshark, it's got a malware protection as well. So it's got a number of different benefits. and it's so cheap. It works out like $71 for 2 years and 3 months. So have a look at the link below, click onto that, and just read the info and the information it's got. I should have been having, you know, these VPNs for a long time now, but I just thought, nah, it's not worth it. Nah, what do I need that for? And now I've got it, I wouldn't be without it. And the beauty with Surfshark, it's got unlimited devices. Some VPN services are only limited to maybe 5 or 6 devices. Surfshark is unlimited. So I've got it on my phones, I've got it on this laptop, I've got it on my other laptop, I've got it on my Android box where I watch me movies through Netflix. So it's fantastic. It really is. So have a look on the link below. VPNs. So living abroad doesn't have to mean everything's expensive. WhatsApp for ringing loved ones back at home in your own country, that's free. Messenger through your Facebook, that's free. Gone are the days where it costs you like £1 a minute or something, or £2 a minute for talking to loved ones abroad or at home. Like I used to phone my mum up every week on the WhatsApp, and it was brilliant. It was just like being sat in the next room. So yeah, communications isn't going to cost you a lot if you do your Google research and you find out how you can do it cheaply. Petrol not that cheap in Thailand. It's just extortionate in the UK. It's still about 90p or £1 a litre. Yeah, it's about 85-90p. It's still much cheaper than it is in the UK. We'll be getting a tooth implant next month for approximately 6,000 or 65,000. Oh wow! My friend's just had new dentures fitted at the top. He's had a lot of teeth taken out and 1 or 2 teeth taken out at the bottom, and that's cost him just over 30,000 baht. He's had a little bit of problems. I mean, it's like anybody else. Putting new dentures in, they were a bit slack, and so they've altered them. And he's just been to the dentist again, and he said, "Oh, they still feel a little bit loose." So they've just told him to get some Polydent or Polyfix, something like that. And so he's finding it very strange eating, because he's had no top teeth now for about 6 months. So again, teeth are important, but he was going to get the implants, but it worked out at 29,000 baht per implant. So that's still quite expensive. And the teeth renewal ended up being 30,000 baht. So he's on the budget. He doesn't want to spend a lot of money. So 30,000 baht for his teeth to come out and plastic ones put in. Compared to the US, the fuel price is about the same. Don't know how Thai workers afford the fuel. It's very expensive compared to the salary. Yeah, I suppose it can be. I mean, American petrol's much cheaper than it is in the UK anyway. High pension is called Port. You can transfer to Thailand Bank and ask about it from Wiz. I don't know what that was about. Les, do you watch UK TV? No, I don't watch UK TV. I was very shocked when I went back to the UK last year. I was very shocked. You watch like 10 minutes of programs, then 10 minutes of adverts, and the BBC is not worth anything anymore now. So there's only BBC One, BBC Two that are advert free. I just got sick of watching the adverts. I'm like A Place in the Sun and Grand Designs and Tiny Houses and stuff like that. And I was watching Grand Designs back in the UK, and it was 10 minutes of adverts, 10 minutes of programs. You just put it on YouTube and you can just watch it till your heart's content. There is a subscription on YouTube that you can have it advert free. But for me, the adverts are like 20, 30 seconds long, not 10 minutes long. And then you can skip them and just carry on watching. So YouTube and Netflix, them are the only 2 things that I watch over here in Thailand. I don't miss the English TV whatsoever. I've never been a soap fan. So no, I don't miss the TV. I'm not a sports fan, so I'm not bothered about the football. Easily pleased. the thing with YouTube, it's never ending. You can type in absolutely anything on YouTube and there'll be a video about it. So I'm never short of watching TV. I've got a big 100-inch projector screen, and I've got a projector. So I watch big TV and big movies with my headphones on, because the wife doesn't like listening to the loud bangs if I watch a movie with a lot of fighting on it, like a documentary or a war film. So then I got my headphones so she can't hear any of the noises. But yeah, we're not bar people. We don't go out, so I have me entertainment at home, and I enjoy that. We've got a nice 55-inch flat screen TV and a 100-inch projector screen if I want to watch a movie night. Good afternoon, Les from the Midlands. Just picked some Victoria plums for the next door neighbour. Oh, very nice. Plums are lovely. I think she gave you the wrong information. Who gave me the wrong information? My tello has 5p connection and 1p per minute to the UK. Oh, that's not too bad, is it? She wants to make some jam. I had to eat a few for quality. Well, you do. It's like me when I go out for a drink or something like that. You've got to have one or two changs to make sure that the ones that you're really, really going to consume. And it's funny, for my birthday, it was the last chang that made me feel ill. The other 4 or 5 were okay. So, okay, let's get on to prices. What I think is the cost of living over here in Thailand. We're half an hour into this, so let's go for it. This is my thoughts on, for those people who want to live here on a budget. Again, if you've got lots of money, it doesn't matter, does it? If you've got lots of money, but if you're here on a budget, then it every pound matters, if you like. And I think this is the realistic lifestyle that you can have living here on a budget. And again, like I've already said, I live here on 60,000 baht a month, which is about £1,400, and we have a good lifestyle here. You can see the location, watch the videos about my house, where I live, how much I used to pay for rent. Now we're buying it. So yeah, we're actually buying this house. Still on the budget of 60,000 baht, £1,400 a month. We're paying 20,000 baht a month to buy this house. So that's sort of a third of our living cost on buying this house. But again, I'll come on to that a little bit later on. So anyway, this house where we're living, have a look around. There's plenty of videos about my house, and I've done some videos about buying a house or renting a house and stuff like that. Or if you want to know any more information, send me an email and I'll give you some information. Feel free to ask me, send me an email, and I'll give you any information that you request. So this house that we're living it still is a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom house, nice gardens, nice location, 8 minutes drive away from the beach. Where this motorbike goes. 8 minutes drive to the beach, beautiful beach, some nice restaurants on the beach, and we're about 40 minutes away from the center of Rayong, from the big city, shopping anything and everything that you want. Local shopping such as a Macro and a Lotus, Tesco Lotus, is about motorbikes left and right. So local shopping is about 15 minutes away. So the rent that we used to pay for this house, and there is other houses available in this area. It's a beautiful little village for about 12 to 15,000 baht a month. And this house that we're living in was 12,000 baht a month. So the rent, 12,000 baht a month. Food. Now again, food, it depends. If you eat a Western diet, it's going to cost you a little bit more money. But if you like your Thai food, as I do, I like the Thai food, You can eat very, very cheaply here. Noodles around the corner from one of the best noodle shops, I think, in where we live in Banpay and up to Lee May Pim, is 45 to 50 baht for noodles, which is incredibly cheap. Local restaurant meals around here is less than 200 baht, which is about £4.50, £5. So you can live fairly well with a food budget of 15,000. Transport, again, I would suggest if you're going to live here full time, you need some transport. I would say buy a motorbike or a little scooter, and then transport is very, very cheap, because it's just about 100 baht to fill your bike up with petrol. But if in the meantime, that'll cost you about 2,000 baht a month if you rented a scooter. Maybe it's 3,000 baht a month, but 2,000 to 3,000 baht a month. Entertainment, going out the local bars and things like that, about 10,000 baht a month. And visa is very important. So if you haven't got the funds to put the 800,000 in, you can go to an agent, and once you're paid for the first year, which will cost you about 35,000 baht, and then the renewals will cost you about 12 to 15,000 baht every year. So a visa renewal, if you work that out, at 1,250 baht. So just the basic cost of all of them lot comes to 40,265 baht. So say 40,000 baht, you can actually live here, and not a bad lifestyle. You can get accommodation cheaper if you get accommodation on a small condo unit. You can get that from 6,000 to 10,000 if you want. And again, that's walking distance. Just walk over the road to the beach. So my accommodation is for a 2-bedroom house. But if you wanted a condo, you can get that to 6. So that will even drop your monthly cost even lower, down to 35,000 baht. And if you want a little bit of adult entertainment, roughly add 5,000 baht onto that for drinks and things like that, which will then bring it up to around 45,000 baht, which is roughly £1,000 a month. And I would go on top of that and say one of the things I've missed out on there is insurance. Insurance for me is vital over here in Thailand. You've got to have some type of insurance, and I know there are many people who live here without insurance. But again, such as my friend who's been into hospital, that's costing him 500,000 baht up to now. You're more likely to have an accident over here than illness. So I would say at the least you need some accident insurance. And if you look at 2,000 baht a month for accident insurance, you're more likely to have an accident than illness. And my friend came off his motorbike because he hit a soy dog, and he didn't have any insurance, and it's costing him a lot of money. About 3,000 to 4,000 baht per day to get his dressings changed, because he was quite badly scraped all the way down one side of his body. So I would say a ballpark figure, if you look at 47,000 baht for including your insurance, let's round it up to 50,000 baht. So for 50,000 baht, which is 50,000 baht is £1,150, 1,329 euros, 1,547 US dollars, and Australian dollars 2,371. For that type of price, you can live here in Thailand. So could you live on that amount of money in the UK, America, Australia, New Zealand, Canada, or Europe? I think not. And you can have quite a good lifestyle on that type of money. And that's been realistic. And that's not penny pinching either. If you want a penny pinch, you could live even cheaper than that. If we didn't have the house, we could live on 40,000 baht a month if we're not buying the house. 40,000 baht a month is easily, and we could still have the same lifestyle as that we have now. So have a think of where you are. is it time to make the move? You know, is it too expensive to live in your country and actually move to somewhere else? Renting a scooter in Thailand is always going to be bad. If you don't get hurt, the cops will hassle you. No, the cops won't hassle you. Why will the cops hassle you? The cops hassle you if you don't wear a helmet, if you don't have your international driver's license. If you do something wrong, then they'll hassle you. I've had a motorbike now, 10 years. 10 years I've had a scooter for, and I've only ever been fined once because the tax disc fell off my motorbike, and they fined me 400 baht for not having a tax disc. If you've got insurance, you've got your driver's license, and you wear your helmet, you're not going to get hassled by the police. And especially here in Rayong, where I live, everybody, the police know, because they have that many stops and that. You know, they just see who you are and they just wave you on. So that's a fallacy about getting hassled by the coppers. Have the right information, the right documents, and you'll have an easy life over it. It's not difficult at all. Pretty sure anyone over 70 can't get insurance. Well, Pacific Cross who I'm with will insure me up to the age of 99 years. I've been with them now for 10 years. So therefore, I'm always going to be insured with them. Obviously, the subscriptions or the price goes up every few years. At the minute, I'm paying 25,000 baht for 700,000 bahts worth of cover. Now, that's not a lot of money, is it? But my friend's up to 500,000 baht now for 10 days in the Bangkok hospital in Pattaya. If you go to the super duper expensive hospital, you're going to pay super duper prices. But I've said to my wife, if I'm ill, I'm sick, send me to the public hospital. When all's said and done, a doctor is a doctor. The specialists that work in the Bangkok hospital under the Thai agreement type of thing, they've got to spend so many hours working in the public hospital, because when all's said and done, they've been trained in Thailand, so they have to give some of their time back to the Thai hospital. So you might not get the frequency of the specialist doctors, but you'll still see a doctor at the public hospital, and that'll be much, much cheaper. So yes, you can still get affordable cover here in Thailand. And I would say for those people who are worried about the medical insurance, go and have a full body check, go and have a full examination, maybe every 2 years. And that could cost you up to maybe 30,000 baht. But then if there's anything wrong with you, they're going to find it out very, very early. So be preactive as opposed to proactive. Find out if there's anything that you need any medications for before it happens. And then you can treat that whilst you're here. So there's ways and means of doing it. You know, you don't just stick your head in the sand and hope for the best. You know, I'm going to go for a heart and lung examination, and that tells me if any of my arteries are getting calcified up. I've got emphysema. I know I've got emphysema, so I know that's going to be picked up. Oh, a bit of tooth just come off. Yeah. So that's for 9,900, so about 220, 230 quid. And that's going to give me any pre-warnings of anything that's happening to me heart valves, me heart or me lungs. And you can have the heart, lung and brain check. And that's 15,000 baht. And that'll tell you if these veins are clogging up type of thing, which could end up causing you a stroke. So for 15,000 baht, you know, you're going to get the three main things that go wrong with people, isn't it? So there's ways and means of doing it, even if you can't afford the insurance. Proactive is better than preactive is better than being proactive after the event, isn't it? So there's ways and means of doing it. So have a look into it. Hi Les, can you do a live video traveling from your house to Rayong or your log? I've done one. Going from my house to the local beach, Three Tree Beach. So if you just type in Three Tree Beach or something like that, you might get that video. Yeah, but I've done a couple of videos with driving. It's just country lanes, country roads, going down to the beach, and that takes like 8 minutes. And it's a nice little ride. But a lot of people aren't interested in driving around. I've got a couple of friends who do a lot of motorbike videos, and they're showing up to like 10 or 15 minutes of riding along on a country lane. Well, once you've seen the country lane, you've seen them all. It's like everything else. But yeah, I've done pictures of Rayong, I've done pictures of Banpei, I've done pictures or videos of Koh Samet, which is just on our doorstep, 30 minutes away. So there's plenty of information on Rayong and the surrounding area. So I've got 560 odd videos, so there's a lot to look through. But again, I'll do another video of like the 3 Tree Beach. The other one is She Sails. It's a beautiful restaurant right on the beach, and that's very nice as well. Again, that's 8 minutes from where we live. Hi Les, how does rubbish collection work in Thailand if there's no council tax there? Our bins get emptied twice a week, and it costs 30 baht a month to get your bins emptied, and you can put anything in it. It's not you don't have 3 or 4 different bins, recyclable and stuff like that. We have one bin, and we put the garden rubbish, household rubbish, anything you want in there, and the bins just get emptied twice a week. It's brilliant. It's cheap as chips. We got our water bill the other day. Our water bill for last month was 37 baht, about less than a pound, about 80 pence for our water bill. Cheap as anything, isn't it? Our water meter stuck, so we had to pay to get a new water meter. That's one of the things over here. You have to pay to get the meter, and that was only 600 baht. For somebody to come and replace the meter, 800 baht, like 17, 18 pounds, because our meter had froze. We didn't pay any water for like 4 months. So then the head of the water authority comes around, has a look at it, and says, oh, your meter's frozen, it's broken, you need to buy a new meter. So 600 baht, 37 baht a month. People say to me, because I put some new guttering at the back of the house, why don't I get any water butts? But a water butt is probably about 700 or 800 baht, and our water bill is never ever above 80 baht a month. So water's so cheap here. Our house is called Lake Home. We're surrounded by lakes. It's cheap, the water. It never ever goes off, and we have a big 1,000-litre tank of water anyway. Even if the water does go off, we've always got water. So yeah, it's cheap living here. Our electricity bill is this month was 457 baht, which is less than a tenner. Well, around about a tenner. So yeah, electricity, water, getting your bins emptied, so cheap. So my council tax in the house that I was living in was 140 pounds a month for the council tax. So even if I owned the house, the council tax would be 140 pound a month, whether I lived there, whether I didn't. Standing charge for the water was 45 pounds a month that I'd have to pay for the water. So add them two things up, it's around 200 pounds, and you don't even live in the house. You're on holiday or you're away. It's just incredibly expensive to live in the UK. You need to make people aware that if you're in Thailand, you'll be sweating morning, noon and night unless you're in aircon, and it isn't pleasant to breathe at all. I'm here. It's warm. It's beautiful. I'd sooner be warm. I've got a fan going off in the background. Is it hot and sticky some months of the year? Yes, it is. There's 3 seasons, hot, and even hotter. And in their season, even hotter, it can be hot and sweaty because the humidity is very, very high. But if it's not for you, you don't have to stay. You can just move somewhere else. But I prefer to be warm, sat in front of a fan, than to be cold, sat in front of the electrical fire or the gas fire or the central heating, which costs you a fortune. But yes, I agree with you. It can be warm and sweaty and uncomfortable sometimes. But I've lived here now for 13 years, and I wouldn't change the climate at all to go back to the UK. I went back to the UK last year, and I was there in the summer months, It was the worst summer for 15 years. No, give me Thailand anytime. But again, there are some guys who find it too hot here, too hot to handle, and we hardly have the air conditioning on. I mean, which goes to show our electricity bill less than 500 baht, so we can't be having on the aircon on too much. We have the aircon on in the bedroom because we just had a new one fitted for like 15-20 minutes to bring the temperature down, and we sleep with 2 fans on us all night. So it's cheap. You don't have to pay a lot, do you? Thankfully, living by the sea, I never use the aircon, just a couple of fans when required. Same with us. And we don't have the windows open. The wife doesn't like the windows to be open because we live in a bungalow, even though nobody could get in. But we have the windows shut. We have the aircon and bring the temperature down a little bit in the bedroom. And we have the fans on all night. Christ, my council tax is 350 quid a month. Wow, that's a lot of money to pay council tax. Bangkok bound, hi Les. Hi, Bangkok bound. Okay, right, let's go on to something else. So, people who retired, believe it or not, some people find it very difficult to retire because, as my explanation is, I talked my boss into retiring and he never ever forgave me for it. I took to retirement like a duck to water. I loved it and I never ever want to retire from being retired. But I loved retirement and I still do. I've been retired for 15 years now and I never want to go back to work. If I do anything, if I do any work, then it's voluntary and I choose to work or not to work. So therefore, being retired, I love every minute of it. But again, I talked my boss into it and he regretted retiring. And his explanation was, at work, this was in the fire service, he was a big fish in a little pond and he had some responsibility and some, he felt worth. He gives some value and worth because he was the boss and he could make decisions. But once he left the fire brigade, he was a small fish in a massive lake and he had no responsibilities and he was bored and he didn't have any other interests apart from going to the gym. So he found life boring. For me, the complete opposite. I'm never bored. I'm never ever bored. I've got something to do every day and I choose whether I want to do something or whether I don't. It's just having that perspective on life. So you've got to do things when you retire, because from being responsible, even in the mundane jobs, you always had something to do. There was a task to do. So at the end of the day, if you did a good job or you did a bad job, it was a job and you felt either value in it or defeatism or you didn't like doing it. But there was always a feeling. But when you retired, you sat there doing nothing and thinking, what am I going to do today? You get up in the morning and think, what am I going to do? I'll sit and have a coffee. Then I'll have another coffee. Because you don't have any things to do. So I'm going to give you 4 different things, how to look upon it once you're retired and to get into the swing of things. Contribution to others. This is what you did at work. Contributing towards others, whether it was your boss or services to the public or helping people, whatever job that you did, you always had some worth and value, so you were contributing towards other people. So you can bring that into retirement lifestyle, because this is what I do. This is what I run my YouTube channel for. People ask me for various things on the visas, the money, houses, all sorts of things. So that gives me my value because I'm a mind of information. I can pass the information on, and if I help others, that's my feeling of contribution towards others. I do some voluntary work at a cat sanctuary once a month. I work for free for a day doing various things. That's my value, helping other people. That's reward in itself. I don't do it for the money. I do it for the reward that I could help another human being out who's actually helping the cats that have been abandoned. 91 cats and 5 dogs she looks after. Go and work for a charitable organization. That gives you your value of worth, and you're worth a lot to various people. just don't underestimate the value of helping other people out on a daily basis. Comment on others' good services. How many people actually do that? We went to a new restaurant the other day. Never ever been there before. My wife found it on TikTok. So we went and had a look. It was absolutely 100% brilliant. The staff were very friendly. The food was out of this world. The drinks that my wife has, she likes honey lemon, and she always rates it 1 out of 10 wherever we go. And there's only one ever time she give it a 10 in Chiang Mai. The rest of it has been from a 5 up to like 9.5. Only one time she give it a 10. This particular restaurant that we went to in Melonpun Beach, she gave it 15 out of 10. It was that well. And the food was presented so well and tasted so beautiful. When we left, we said, absolutely fantastic food. Thank you very much for your service. It was beautiful, and we'll be back here again, and we'll tell other people. The massive smile they put onto the owners, it just ticked them boxes. Now, we could have just got up and just left and said nothing. So therefore, we were another customer and it's gone. But to get that feedback that what you're doing is actually helping other people and making other people happy is worth a grain of nugget of gold. So do it. If you get good service or good value for something, tell them that's what they want to hear. And that makes you feel good as well. Same thing if it's bad service, you can always tell them that, hang on, the service wasn't very good here. Okay, the other thing, number 2, create something every day. Creating something, being able to do something. Again, I've started doing. I'm gonna have a go at welding. I'm gonna make, a fence. I'm gonna make some garden benches. I've never ever done it before. Never ever in my life. But now I have the time and the opportunity to do it. So I've started building my little workshop. Started doing little bits of things. I'm on a budget, so I can't do it all at one go. So I put the shade screen up. I bought the table, the vise, the welder, the saws, and everything else like that. And I want to replace my tooth this year. This month is going to take another 12,000 off my budget for doing that. But I'm doing it month by month, step by step. It gives you that something to do as well, doesn't it? Because you're creating something. So create something. Do something you've never tried before. Photography, fishing, walking, skiing, windsurfing, stuff like that. You've got all the time in the world to try something new. And if you like doing it, then you'll just carry on doing it. So this is your opportunity to try something that you've never ever had before. If you like looking after the grandkids and the family and stuff like that, there's nothing against that. But remember, at retirement now, you're in your 60s, late 60s. So you've already lived 82% of your life. So the average age for somebody from the UK is 80. I'm 65 now, so I'm over 80% of my life is gone. And I've got more good years behind me than I have left in front of me. So this is why you have to make the choice, do whatever you want to do, because this is your time to do the things that you want to do. Don't live the life that other people think you should live. Live the life that you want to live. Because when all said and done, when you're gone, you're gone. You can't go back on anything you want to do. Lovely summer in the UK and nice and fresh. Good to hear. Isan man, if they stop the agents doing the money in the bank, people using them are going to be screwed as doing it straight. Straight immigration required a bank statement for the whole previous year. Oh, Isan man, there's a way around that system, and it's a legal way of doing it. It might take a little bit of time to do it, but you can use the 65,000 baht a month income method, and then you don't need to use an agent. And that's what I say to people, maybe use an agent in the first year, but on your second year you can do it yourself by putting 65,000 baht into a bank account every month. You could come here on a tourist visa. It's a 60-day tourist visa, which you can extend it for 30 days. That gives you 90, and you can do that twice. You can do 2 border runs. So altogether, you could get like 6 months here. But once you open, you can use an agent to open up a bank account. but carry on putting 65,000 baht a month into your bank account for a year, then you've got the proof to show the immigration of the 65,000 baht income method. Job done. Then you never ever need an agent again. And to do it that way, your visa will only cost you 1,900 baht a year. So there's many ways to skin a cat. You don't have to use an agent. There's other ways of doing it, and they're all legal. All the information that I give are all legal ways to be able to get your visa. Bill Simpson, give Les a thumbs up. I can't see how many thumbs up there is, Bill, but every thumbs up counts. Thanks very much for that. Again, it all helps the algorithm, doesn't it? So thanks very much for that. Les, can you recommend any hotels with nice grounds with a swimming pool near you? Yes, I can. What's it called? Barong Resort. That's nice. And Stories. Have a look at booking.com. Barong Resort. Beautiful. In fact, I did a prize for that. I offered for 10,000 subscribers 2 nights free accommodation in the Barong. I'm that impressed with it. It was a beautiful place, and that's about 1,000 baht a night at the minute. And the other place is Stories. Beautiful beds with a nice swimming pool, and the Stories do a nice breakfast as well. And again, that's for less than 1,000 baht a night, and that's in Ban Pay. So Stories and Barong Resort. Have a look at them. I think you'll be impressed. Hi Les, how expensive is Koh Samet compared to where you are? The sting in the tail with Koh Samet is that you have to pay, because it's a national park, you have to, for a foreigner, you have to pay 200 baht to get onto the island, which is a lot of money really, isn't it? 200 baht. Hotels are a little bit more expensive than they are here on the mainland. But again, you can get something nice for about 1,000 baht. And if you shop around, you can get something for about 700 or 800 baht a night. White House, I think it's called White House. And if you go down the main high street, there's 2 7-Elevens, and it's called the White House. And we stayed there when it was very, very busy. I took a couple of friends of mine over to there. It was super busy, the island. And everywhere we asked was booked, fully booked. And we got this place. She could have asked 1,500 baht a night and we would have paid it. But she said, 800 baht, we'll have it. And the rooms are beautiful. Nothing flash, nothing, out of the world. But for 800 baht on a busy weekend, you can't go wrong. If you want to get beachside places, villas, it might cost you 2,500, 3,000 baht or something like that. But it's a stunningly beautiful island. It's worth a visit. No problems whatsoever. I'd go there. Beautiful. Chiang Rai is cheap but boring. I like Chiang Rai, but then I've only been there for holidays. So a holiday and living there full time, I think anywhere can be boring if you live there long enough. No matter where you are. I mean, even if you've lived in your home country, living in the same location all the time can be boring, can't it? That's why we have many holidays. We go away sometimes for like 1 or 2 nights with a group of friends. There's 8 of us who go away, and we'll go in a little house, or we'll rent, a house somewhere. The next one that we're going to rent next month is a 4-bedroom, 5-bathroom house with its own swimming pool, 20 minutes away from where we live. And we only do that because as a group of friends, we're all together, all the girls cook, all the guys just sit and put the world to right for the, 1 or 2 days. And we never ever leave the house because everything that we want is there. And that works out just over 1,000 baht per night for each couple, which is cheap, isn't it? It's just as cheap as a hotel room. And it's a beautiful house. Again, I'm going to do a video of it next month. So that's the 9th and 10th Lee Mei Pim it's at. Beautiful. Talking all that, you get a sore voice, sore throat, I should say, and my tongue keeps so I'm talking with a bit of a lisp because I've snapped my crown and my tooth, so I have to wait and go and get another one. Yeah, the Blue Moon. Yeah, I stayed at the Blue Moon in Koh Samet, thanks to your recommendations. Yeah, the Blue Moon, that's a good place. That's on the main high street, literally 5 minutes walk to the beach. Blue Moon's very, very nice. Did you say, no, the Rayong Resort is very expensive, probably the most expensive hotel. Stories Resort and Barong Resort and Stories Resort. Um, Both sort of in Banpage, but you can actually get rooms across the road from the beach up near where we live in Swanson Beach area from 600 baht a night. Small and basic, but 600 baht a night. You just walk across the road and there's plenty of little restaurants, seating areas for sitting. The sea's quite safe to swim in over here. The beach is okay. It's about 11 or 12 kilometers long, and it's very, very nice. So yeah, you can't go wrong. Anyway, getting back onto my list of the things to do when you're retired. Groups and clubs. Groups and clubs. Now we have a weekly brunch. There's like between 6 and 12 of us. We all meet up at various restaurants. Every week we have 3 different restaurants that we go to, and we'll meet up for brunch at 11 o'clock. And there's Americans, Canadians, English, all sorts of demographics from all over the world. And we have a good chin wag for an hour and a half, and we put the world to rights. And we do that once a week, which is good. There are Rayong expats groups. There are many, many groups that you could join. And so there's no need to be alone. There's a place on Melonpun Beach, Sun and Moon. He's fantastic. He does various things throughout the whole week. Quizzes, entertainment, bands. It's like 25 kilometers from where we go. We're not bar people anyway, so I don't go, but I've been a couple of times. And if we go, then we'll stay in a local resort for like 500 or 600 baht a night. And then I can have a few beers, enjoy the night, and then sleep it off, and then come back home the following day. It's actually just as cheap to stay in a 600 or 700 baht a night hotel room than, I don't drink and drive anyway, and I frown upon that because I've seen so many accidents with drinking and driving. And I would say to people, just book a hotel room, 700-800 baht a night, and have a good drink and sleep it off, and then go home the following day. Why risk it driving home drunk? There is a lot of drink driving goes on in Thailand because the chances of getting stopped by the police is very, very remote anyway, unlike the Western countries where the police are waiting for you to leave the pubs and the nightclubs, and then they'll stop you. Actually, the drink driving limit is less here than it is in the UK. So therefore, it's more easily, that one or two beers, you can be over the limit over here in Thailand. But the chances of getting stopped by the police is very, very remote, sadly. They should double down on that, in my opinion. The point I was trying to make was that those who have agents putting the money in the bank would be screwed if that suddenly ended, because next time they have to show the bank statement for the last year. Yeah, I get your point of what you're saying, but people have been saying the agents are going to be finished all the time that I've been living here, all the time. There is too many brown envelopes going on to actually stop this from happening. There's always going to be the agents. They will never, ever stop the agents. There is always a way. And the agents, yeah, you can say that. I agree with what you're saying. It's a gray area, should I put it like that? But the agents survive on sort of frightening people, saying, oh, well, you've got to do this, you've got to do that, you've got to do the other. We can do this, we can do that. Because a lot of foreigners don't like the paperwork. And it's not difficult, the paperwork. And as I say, you can do it yourself. If you've got the 800, there's a guy that I know paid 35,000 baht to get his retirement visa using an agent. And he had the 800,000 baht, but he was so scared of doing the paperwork and that he was going to get rejected, he used an agent. Now, that's so easy money for an agent. So, yeah, give us 35,000 baht, we'll get you your visa for you. And I said to him, I'll go down to the immigration office with you. I'll hold your hand. We'll do it step by step. No, I'm going to get an agent. So he's 35,000 baht worse off using an agent and using his own 800,000 baht. But that's what I'm saying. Some people are scared of the paperwork and they don't like the paperwork. We're on the marriage visa. Now that's horrendous for the paperwork. And there are agents who will do that, the marriage visa as well. But no, we just stick with it. They can only ask for so much information, and the information that they ask for isn't impossible to get. Might be time consuming and frustrating, but at the end of the day, we get our visa for 1,900 baht a year. And as I say, with a retirement visa, my friend's just gone through it, 1,900 baht, cheap as chips. There's a bit of paperwork to do. There's a few hoops to jump through, but it's nothing impossible to do. So I would say the immigration are there to help you, and they will help you to get you your visa. They will give you all the information, what they require of you, and you just go on a paper trail. You'd look for the pieces of paper, what they want. Once it's all assimilated and got together, you can do it. Easy as anything. Homebrew, I used to do homebrew in the UK. Lots of crackdowns going on at the moment. Lots are now reporting people being refused entry. Konkan and Udon just moved to a bigger and new building. Again, as you can imagine, I'm on YouTube a lot. I don't get the same feeling as what you're saying. People are getting turned down and people are getting refused. For what reasons? For what reason are they getting turned down and refused? Because even if they get refused on a retirement visa, there's ways and means of doing it yourself, and it's not difficult to do. Even if you took everything away from the visa agents, you can do it yourself. Even if you don't have the 800,000 baht, like the income method, 65, they can't argue against 65,000 baht a month. As long as it's coming into a bank account every month, the difficult thing to do is opening up a bank account. And you can use an agent to open up your bank account, 5,000 or 6,000 baht to get a visa agent open your bank account. Now, you can't open up a bank account on an education visa or a Muay visa or a DTV visa. It has to be a retirement visa. So even if you use an agent for the first year, it can be done. Now, I know a guy who does the visa for 35,000, and I also know a guy that does the visa for 65,000. It's exactly the same visa. One agent charges 35, the other agent charges 65, but it's exactly the same visa, the same process. So the days of the visa agents are never, ever going to end. They might make it a little bit more difficult, as they have done in the past couple of years. The opening of the bank account is the biggest bugbear that agents are finding at the moment, but it's still possible to do. Some people like to invest in the money instead, especially those that know how. It's like everything else. People who know how to make money don't want to tell anybody else how to make money. You don't want to give anybody the golden goose. But there are plenty of people out there on the internet who'll tell you, if you do this, if you do that, if you do the other. I've tried a lot of the things, making money online and stuff like that, and it never works how they tell you to do it. And their get out clause is that, you've got to put the work in, you've got to do this, you've got to do that, you've got to do the other. So it's not easy. And people who are making easy money make a lot of money on selling. It's like, I'm going to put it, somebody put it this way to me a number of years ago, and it makes absolute sense. In the gold rush in Americas, who made the most money? The people prospecting for gold or the people who sold the shovels? The people who sold the shovels made more money than the people who were digging for gold, because you need a shovel to dig for the gold. So find a business that you're the shovel seller and you'll make a fortune. Depending on where you live in Thailand, doing it yourself can take all day long, if not over several days. Here in Chiang Mai, it's very busy and there are not enough immigration officers. You just go prepared, and if it takes several days, it takes several days. But in reality, all the information is online, what paperwork you want. It's not a difficult thing to do, a retirement visa. A retirement visa is the easiest visa to get. It's not difficult to get. Other cities you can walk right in and out 15 minutes, just depends on your location. Yeah, exactly. 15. My friend got his the other day in 15 minutes. And the only thing they queried to him, they asked him next year, get his bank book updated more often than he did this year. Everything else he had in his pensions, photocopies, where his pension's coming from, everything was done. 15, 20 minutes in and out, no problems whatsoever. Again, even me with the marriage visa, it takes maybe 30, 35 minutes for him to go through all the paperwork. But it might take 2 or 3 weeks for us to do all of the paperwork, assimilate, get all the paperwork together. The words of Bob Dylan, the times are changing. Well, the times are changing everywhere around the world. Yeah, Les, yes, not difficult, but what's your time worth? Yeah, your time's worth whatever your time's worth, isn't it? If you've got all day to do it in, are you in a rush to do it? If you're retired, then you've got all day to do it. And maybe it's, what you're going to do for the rest of the time. Sit on the sofa, watch the TV or whatever. It's a day out of your life. One day in 365 days, if it takes the whole day. Not a chunk of time to take out of your life, is it? Polas, thumbs up. Thanks very much. I don't know how many thumbs up I've got, but let's hope there's more than 2 or 3. Thanks very much for all the thumbs up and any comments. Leave your comments down below, and I answer every one of them if I can. Let's look at if the rain's coming behind you. Let's have a look. No. A little bit overcast. That's where the thunder comes from, sort of in that direction, but it's not going to bother us today, I don't think. I think we're okay. All right, what else have we got on there? Okay. Future pensions, international consult. Yeah, so those, getting back onto the pensions a little bit, I found another bit of information. The people that I wrote to were Future Pensions, International Consortium of British Pensions, Money Expert Advice, the solicitors with regard to pro bono. So yeah, that's just going back onto the little bit of information that I gave earlier on. I found this cheap calls to Viber. If you use Viber with regard to the cheap calls, again, just Google it, and cheap calls to the UK from anywhere in the world, Viber. And if you call the UK, you get 100 minutes for £1.47. 100 minutes, that's a big conversation for £1.47. USA, for some reasons, unlimited calls for £1.86. Australia, unlimited calls, £5.89. And Canada, unlimited calls for £4.19 a month. Cheapest chips, isn't it? So you can call anywhere around the world. You don't have to pay exorbitant fees. You just have to do a little bit of snooping around and finding what you can get. We do a marriage visa by ourselves, 1 to 2 hours maximum in Chiang Mai, but you need to get organisation skills for your marriage visa is important. What we do 3 copies, because you've got to give them 2 copies. One goes to Bangkok and one stays in the office where you are. So we do 3 copies, and we have everything. Some months she says, I don't want that. Some months she says, I want this. So we've done this now for 6 years. So every single bit of paper that's needed or has been rejected, we have copies of. So now we're going to go this year armed with, I can't think of anything else that she can ask us for, but we'll go armed with more pieces of paper than what we need. For instance, last year we got told off for not updating the bank book as often, so we need to do that. Even though I get my income from my bank through Wise into Thailand, they wanted 12-month statements from my Thai bank, which is no problem. And then they ask for 3 months payments from a transfer Wise to say that the money came from my UK bank account. Again, that was like, well, why do you need that? Because it's obviously there, foreign transfer, and that's all you need to know. And she said, because I want it. That's what I want. So this year, I'm going to copy every statement that I get from Wise to say the money comes from a UK bank account into Wise, from Wise over to Thai bank account. So then that's sort of preempting what they require. But yeah, the marriage visa, you need to be well organized, and we've been doing it now for 6 years. We think we've cracked it. And it's a new lady this year. The one that we had last year for the past 6 years was awful. Nobody liked her. She was very, very sharp mouth with everything. She called my wife a fool on the first time that we did it. But now, 6 years down the road, it's a new lady that's just been trained up, a young lady. And by all accounts, by talking to other people, she's very polite and very nice and very helpful. So let's see what happens this year. That's due again in December. So again, it's maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks of getting all the paperwork together and the photographs and the stuff like that. The rental agreement signed by the landlady. It's a lot of administration costs, but it's 11 months of easy living then. 90-day reporting, which we do online, which takes all of 5 minutes. So the retirement or the marriage visa isn't an impossible thing to do. Time consuming, maybe it's for the marriage visa, but it's not impossible to do. Cycle license before renting a bicycle. I've never heard of that. Unless I have a international driving permit and full UK driving license, but no license to drive a 125cc scooter, would I be able to hire in Thailand? Yes, you would, but I wouldn't do it, because if you have an accident on a motorbike or even a scooter over here and you don't have the appropriate license, your insurance is invalid. And also, if you've got travel insurance, that'll be invalid as well, because you don't have the appropriate license to drive the motorbike. I would go and take a motorbike test in England. But if you're coming to Thailand and you're here for a number of months, then I'd go and take the test over here. The test itself is ridiculously easy. The driving test itself, the practical test, takes all of 2.5 to 3 minutes. That's the practical side of it. And it's all done on a concrete base type of thing, all within a safe area, walled area. The exam itself, you can pay an agent, and that's only going to cost you 5,500 baht. Use an agent, you get all the questions that you could possibly get asked and all the answers. So in advance, before you go in for the test, what the answers are. And even if you wanted to get an agent to do it for you, they will do everything. They will take the test for you. They'll do the written test for you. And like for about 7,000 baht, they will give you a license, even though you've never set foot into the place. Is it the best way to go? No, because as I say, riding a scooter over here can be a dangerous thing, and there are many, many, many accidents over here. But sort of everything is possible over here. But I would say if you're here for a few months, get your license over here. It's a lot easier to get your license over here, your scooter license, than it is in the UK. That's for sure. And a lot cheaper as well. Is it easy to get a Wise? Yes, very easy to get a Wise card. You might still be able to rent one at certain places, but if you get stopped, you will have to pay a fine. Yeah, you'll have to pay a fine, and it's usually a 500 baht fine. And then you just get a white piece of paper. You go pay your fine at the police station. But as long as you've got that receipt, you're okay for 7 days. So no matter how many times you get stopped for not having a license, within that 7 days, you've already been fined for it, so you won't get fined again. But the crux of the matter is, if you have an accident, then you're not going to be insured. And, you know, let's face it, you don't want to be arguing about that when you're stuck in hospital waiting for the insurance to pay. So let's have a look. What's that? Okay, where we go from there. Can't wait to retire in Thailand. Great climate, cheap living, love fruit, great culture, nice beaches. Can't wait. How long have you got to wait now, Scott? I know we've been talking quite a while, but it's a lovely place to come and live. That's without a doubt. So going back on to health and stuff like that, health and fitness. Sometimes something happens and you think, I need to do something about it. Like me, I was at my heaviest here, I was 118 kilos, which was very, very heavy. And I got down to 106 kilos and I hung about that for quite a while. And then even then, I thought, okay, I need to do something about it because my blood pressure was high. I went out, had my blood pressure taken at one of the clinics for some reason. Oh, that was it, when I was going to get my motorbike license renewed. Because you got to have a medical certificate to say that you're okay. And the doctor examined me and she said, oh, your blood pressure's like 145. She said, that's quite high. It should be a lot less than that. And I said, my blood pressure is always on the high side of normal anyway. But she said, yeah. Well, she said, come back next week and get it checked again. And I went back the following week and it was still 143. So I thought, okay, I need to do something about it. Lifestyle changing. So I decided to go on another diet, the keto diet, and I've lost all the weight through the keto diet. And the keto diet is fantastic. And I like the keto diet. And I've gone from 118 and I'm now 94 kilos. And with a plan to get down to 90 kilos, and maybe it's 87, because once you come off, you always put a little bit of weight back on, and float around 90 to 95 kilos from when I used to float around at 106. Now I feel better myself, my clothes fit better, and I've never ever been 94 kilos in over 20 years. And my blood pressure has dropped down to 129 over 75. So from 145 to less than 130, it's good for your body as well because your blood pressure is a lower type of thing. So I did this all on the keto diet. So if anybody's interested in the keto diet, I do have various ebooks on the site with regard to the keto diet, and I use these keto books for my diet. And have a look on various ebooks that I've got on there, and you'll see me at 118, and now here you can see me at 94 kilos, and it's a huge difference. Feel better, look better, my health is better. I can actually touch my toes now. So these are the things, when you get older, you know, you have time to do it. And again, I don't want to die early, so I took preventative measures and I lost a lot of weight. It's like people who drink a lot, smoke a lot. You know, you can prolong your life by doing small changes. So have a look at that. There's a link on the below there. Ebooks available. Buy me a coffee, and that's me. Buy me a coffee link. Have a look at the shop and see what you think. And for those people who want to have a free ebook, I'll give you a free ebook so you can have a look. Send me an email to lesliepearson58@yahoo.com, and say free ebook, keto ebook, and I'll send you a free ebook, Ketogenic Lifestyle, Not a Diet. And that'll go into, well, it just tells a brief description about the keto diet and how easy it is. And it's a lifestyle, not a diet. And again, I'm living proof. I'm not one of them people who tell you to go on the keto diet and have never ever used it themselves. I'm living proof here that I've done it from 118 kilos down to 94 and still going strong. And you only eat one meal a day, intermittent fasting, and you just feel much, much better. So you don't want to die early. And for all those people who are overweight, it's an easy diet to go on. But it's like all diets, consult your doctor if you're on medication and stuff like that. Have a look at the keto diet. It's one of the easiest diets I've ever been on. And I've always yo-yoed all of my life with regard to diets. I like my cakes, I like my sweet stuff. And the beauty about the keto diet, I eat one meal a day, and like between 12 and 1 o'clock, and then I have a sweet keto cheesecake fluff that I make myself, and there's a recipe in my keto books for that and my keto videos. It's beautiful, very, very nice. And I have various other sweet things because I do have a sweet tooth still. And 5 o'clock I have me yogurt, Greek style yogurt, or me keto cheesecake fluff, and then that's it until the following day at 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock. I'm living proof. You can see the difference. And even I'll have a look at my older videos. You can see like 106 kilo, 118 kilos. It makes a big difference. So, right, let's have a look. See where we go. I was 83 kilos upon arrival. Now I'm 76. Definitely the switch to Thai food has its benefits. Good for you for doing that. But I've always found that the Thai food, they put loads of sugar in it. My wife cooks Thai food. She puts sugar in absolutely everything. And every time we go out, you can taste the sweetness in it. So we have the 0-calorie sugars. So I have that in my coffees. I have that. If Ploy does any Thai food for me, she'll cook it with 0-calorie sugars in it. I have 0-calorie Coke, 0-calorie soda drinks. Everything is 0-calorie. And I know that there's going to be people out there saying, no, you shouldn't be eating that 0-calorie sugar. It's got all sorts of bad things in it. But sugar's bad for you as well. So I'll go with the 0-calorie as opposed to the full sugars. A new guy who was 270 kilos too big. Yeah, 270 kilos. Yeah, that's a lot of weight. For me, I lose weight very quickly, just missing breakfast. I'm 72 and go for a regular 4K runs at 6 a.m. along the beach, plus badminton and picket ball. Great lifestyle for me. Wow, you're a very healthy gentleman. Well done. I hate exercise. I've never ever liked exercise in my life. I used to do running. I used to run along the beach when I was in my younger days, and now I just hate it. I don't like the gyms. I don't like the atmospheres in the gyms. No, I'm not an exercise person. Don't go walking. I don't go cycling and things like that. So I'm sort of quite lazy that way. But if you don't enjoy exercise, then no matter how much you do, you're never ever going to enjoy it. So by diet, I lose my weight and I'm happy at doing the diet. That's easy for me. I get me exercise, cutting the grass, doing housework around the house, building projects, stuff like that, up and down ladders and stuff like that. So that's my exercise. I know that's no excuse, is it? But we have some beautiful beaches I could go walk along and stuff like that. But no, I don't like exercise. My vice is the green Ester Cola. Can't get enough of it. It will be my demise. Yeah, again, yeah. Do something about it before it's too. I'm 65-year-old now. There was no need for me to be 118 kilos. but it just creeps on very, very quickly. My trigger point was when I had to go and get a pair of shorts because my shorts were too tight, and it was a 44 waist pair of shorts, and I think, no, this is too much. I need to do something about it, and that was a catalyst, really. And I think sometimes, it takes something drastic to pull the plug and to be able to do something, like for people who smoke too much, drink too much, are overweight. And thankfully, I don't drink a lot. I don't smoke for sure, but I was a little bit overweight. So 1 out of the 3 bad things isn't too bad. But now I've lost the weight, I feel healthy. I feel much more able to do all the things I want to do. And fingers crossed, the blood pressure thing was a big gain for me, to bring my blood pressure back down to, reasonable limits. That's going to sort a whole lot of problems. Less chance of a stroke, less chance of a heart attack. Healthy eating, it's sort of a win-win situation, isn't it? Fair enough, Les. Being here in Thailand, I find very enjoyable. Many of my friends do too. It's a wonderful place. In fact, I haven't met many people who don't like living here. There are a few who whinge and moan and groan. My glass is always half full. So even the bad times, I can look upon it and put a positive spin on it. With the factor with the tax, the fact that, the immigration, the pound to the baht goes up and down all the time. Just look at what it's like to live in the UK compared to living here. Crime rate is going through the roof in the UK. You're going to get hammered for tax in the next couple of months. They don't look after the pensioners. They don't look after the UK population. The invaders have got more rights than you have. There is going to be unrest throughout the whole country. And it's just, there's nothing really good happening over there in the UK. Everything seems to be doom and gloom. Every time I put the TV on, there's something. Starmer is got to be the most unpopular guy in the world at the minute. And again, I don't want to go along the bad things about what's going on in the UK. We're all able to make something of it, and it's not just the wealthy people who are leaving. I chose to leave because I could see what was happening 20 years ago. And again, if for me, if you have the chance to leave and you're retired, why do you need to carry on fighting for that? We've done all our fighting, with the strikes and stuff like that. We've all been in the strikes. We've all been in disturbances and things like that, fought for our rights. Let somebody else take it over now. Go and retire, live the last 20% of your life in a country that deserves and wants you there, and you get good value for money. I'm 67. Yesterday, just popped in hospital for a free checkup. Blood pressure 133/69 and a pulse of 82 seems normal enough. Yeah, pulse is maybe a little bit high, but 133/69, yeah, mine's like 129, 135, 70, 75-ish. So yeah, in the normal range. Well done. It might be white coat syndrome for your pulse, but she's a very nice lady who was taking your pulse. Hello from Koh Samet. Hello, Jason. Koh Samet, beautiful little island. Whereabouts are you on Koh Samet? White Sands Beach is the most popular beach, and they put all the tables and chairs out on a night time on the beach, and outside the Ploy Bar they have the fire show almost every night, I would have said. But it's a beautiful little place. Koh Samet has got one of the top 10 whitest beaches in the world, and it's a very, very nice location. If you're anywhere in Thailand, go and have a look at it. It's well worth a trip. And again, it's on our doorstep. So we've been doing this now for 1 hour 44 minutes. Oh, Samet Villa. Yeah, I know Samet Villas. I've never stayed in there, but I know where Samet Villas is. Very nice. My two sons have a successful business in the UK. It's still possible to make money. They work very hard with over 60 employees. Yeah, it's very, very, very hard and very difficult. With the national insurance contributions going up, sort of everybody's going to get taxed to hell. And in the UK now, you're paying the most tax since before 1940, and you get less services than you did. Everybody's paying. It's just criminal what's going on. The money that they're just throwing away and wasting is just like horrendous. It is. If you run your household like that, you'd be bankrupt. And sadly, the taxpayer is the fall guy. The taxpayer, the general working person, is going to get hammered at every opportunity, and we've got no choice about it. You can't do nothing about it. You can't fight against the tax. Tax is like the death. The only two things certain in life are taxes and death, and they're going to tax you to death. Anyway, that's the UK. So I'm going to draw that at an end now. As I say, we've been at it now for an hour and 3/4. Thanks very much for all those people who joined in. And it'll be a couple of weeks before I do another one. So thanks for the support from everybody. Thanks very much for subscribers and all those people who take part in this every couple of weeks or so. Much appreciated. And if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be doing this. And I enjoy doing this, and I enjoy the lifestyle and the banter and the questions and being a helpful guy. So until the next time, bye for now.